my name is Kieth, and you are?
I'm Bill.
Well, we are going around asking people what they know about Huntington's disease. Do you know anything about Huntington's disease?
Hey, please tell me more.
It's a genetic disorder that, as far as we know, there's no cure for and only very small treatment that can have for the people. What do you think about that?
That is very sad.
I know.
There is no cures to Huntington's, and there is no known way to stop the disease from getting worse. The goal of treatment is to slow down the symptoms and help the person function for as long and as comfortably as possible. Physicians prescribe a number of medications to help control emotional and movement problems associated with Huntington's.
Hi, I'm Lexi, and you are?
Jolie Carlson.
And we're interviewing people to see if they know about what Huntington's disease is. Do you?
I've heard about Huntington's disease. Is that the one that the woman on House 13 has?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I was interested in that. What kind of symptoms is she going to have?
She has loss of motor control, and she has paranoia and hallucination and loss of judgment and memory.
Wow, I wonder if they're going to put that in the show.
I wonder, yeah, it's pretty terrible.
It is awful.
The main symptom of Huntington's is the lost control of nerve cells, or having them die away, which leads to muscle spasms. However, mood and personality changes are usually the first symptoms of HD, although there are other not nervous symptoms such as behavioral disturbances, hallucinations, irritability, restlessness, fidgeting, and paranoia.
Okay. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Cassie.
Hi, we're going around interviewing people to find out if they know about Huntington's disease. Do you know anything about it?
Isn't that what they used to call Huntington's chorea?
The chorea in Huntington's chorea standard for the jerking motions that people would have from it.
Oh, well, how severe is it?
It depends on how many times the symptoms repeat.
Well, how many people get it?
There's few cases, and most of the time it's in adults and few times in childhood.
The lifespan for someone who has Huntington's is quite varying. Huntington's disease usually progresses over a 10 to 25-year period. Death follows from complications such as choking, infection, or heart failure. Symptoms really start occurring in the late 30s to mid-40s, but can be much earlier or later. The symptoms of Huntington's usually cause death in mid to late 70s.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Kay.
We're going around asking people if they know what Huntington's disease is. Do you?
No, I don't. Tell me.
Alright, well, it's a genetic disease that causes people to lose control of their muscles, and it also causes nerve cells in the brain to degenerate. How do you feel about this?
That sounds awful. We really need to help these people.
And that's what our organization, Hunting for a Cure, is all about.
Huntington's disease is a relatively rare genetic disorder that is inherited from parent to child. It is a neurological disease in which nerve cells in certain parts of the brain waste away. This is characterized by irregular and involuntary movements of the muscles and progressive loss of cognitive ability altogether. Huntington's is almost always a fatal disorder.
Hello, we're going around asking people about Huntington's disease. What do you know about it?
Oh, my mom just recently got diagnosed with it.
Is your mom around the ages of 30 or 40 years old?
Yeah, she is.
That's when people usually get diagnosed with Huntington's disease and start showing their first symptoms.
Is there any chance that I'm gonna get it?
Actually, people with Huntington's, their parent had Huntington's, there's a 50% chance that the gene will be mutated on them as well.
I see. Is there any cure for it?
As of right now, there is no cure for Huntington's and no real treatment to really slow down the disease, but that's what Hunting for a Cure is all about.
Huntington's is a genetic disease, so it is passed down from generation to generation. Huntington's disease is passed down by an affected individual typically inheriting one copy of the gene with a mutated allele from the affected parent. Those who have a mutated copy of the gene will also have the disease.
Hi, I'm Cameron, and you are?
Coach Camp.
And we're going around asking people if they know anything about Huntington's disease. What do you know?
I know a little bit. It's the disease where your nerves deteriorate, right?
That's right.
Well, I don't know much other than that. Could you tell me something?
Yeah, about 1 in every 30,000 people in the U.S. has Huntington's disease.
Really? That seems like a very large number. Has it always been that much?
It's a growing number because people with Huntington's disease have more children because they're healthier in their reproductive years.
Now, is that something that they've always known, or is that new? Because I've never heard that.
They've just found that in recent studies.
Well, thank you so much for the information.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Lexi from Hunting for a Cure, and you are?
I'm Janet.
Do you know what Hunting for a Cure is?
I think it's for Huntington's.
Yeah, it is. It's a really terrible genetic disorder.
When did they die?
They die, I mean, it varies, but usually about 10 to 25 years after they're diagnosed.
How do they die?
Usually from choking, infection, or heart failure. It's pretty terrible.
Sounds horrid.
Mm-hmm.